Hi guys, it's Jess from the International Bomber Command Centre. I hope you're all doing okay in lockdown. Have you all been doing lots of fun activities? And very importantly, have you all contributed to Operation Gratitude yet? For those of you who don't know or haven't heard of it, we are calling on you guys. We need your help. We are looking to recruit you in our fight against loneliness, and we're asking everybody, or as many people as possible, to write a letter, draw a picture, make a card, or something that you've made for a veteran, to let them know that they're not alone at the moment, because a lot of all of our veterans really are old. 75 years since the war ended. These guys are quite old now, and they've been isolating for quite a while, and we all know how tough it is, doesn't it? But we can't see granny and grandpa, or your best mates, or go and see your aunties, or maybe one of your parents, or both of your parents. It's a tough time. So we're asking you to make something beautiful for them, to let them know that, someone's thinking of them. We're all in this together. So what we need you to do with that letter, when you've made it, is put it inside a blank envelope with a stamp on, and then put that envelope inside another envelope with a stamp on. Now you need to post it to the International Bomber Command Centre, 13 Cherry Holt Road, Bourne, that's Bourne, Lincolnshire, PE10 9LA. That's Papa Echo 10 9 Lima Alpha. Okay, thank you very much. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Really appreciate it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about all those other things. We're here to read a story today. Chapter 3 to be precise, from Skyward, a story of female pilots in World War II by Sally Dang. Okay, so chapter 3 is called Just Like the Military. By 1942, all 3 girls had been relocated for training. Hazel's new home was an air base in Texas. It was extremely daunting arriving at Avenger Field in Sweetwater. People in powerful positions wanted the WASP program to fail. "You're taking all the jobs from the men," they said. Nearby, residents kept their children inside, convinced that the ladies were going to be crashing planes left and right. Marlene was stationed at Hamble Airfield, one of the few all-female ferry ports in England. She made sure her makeup was applied evenly, and her hair curled perfectly, and her posture was ramrod straight. Despite her attempts to look professional, male ATA pilots still whistled and catcalled at her whenever they showed up. Instead of turning a deaf ear to their rude remarks, Marlene would coolly glare at them until they retreated. She did not have time for their foolishness. Lilia transferred to Engels, a port city in Russia. Trainees were housed in a cowshed that had the stale smell of its previous tenants. The creaking wooden walls did little for preserving warmth. Lilia had never been more grateful for her mamma's help in packing. Everyone was exhausted from their travels, but sleep did not come easily as they whispered excitedly with one another about the coming days. Can you all see? They were given flying gear, but it was all too big. Lilia and her friends put their sewing skills to good use and stuffed discarded magazines into their large, man-sized boots. Can you see? My, don't we all look fetching? Said Marlene as she and her fellow ATA pilots tried on their official uniforms. In their humid barracks on the other side of the world, Hazel and her friends had to coordinate and purchase matching outfits. Their days consisted of endless marches, military exercises, non-stop drills and challenging courses from early morning until late at night. They sang songs to make the mundane tasks pass by more quickly. The moment they sat in their pilot seat made it all worthwhile. There were so many different types of aircrafts. Hazel started out learning with primary trainer planes like the PT-13D and gradually moved to combat planes used by the army. Marlene preferred flying the single-seat fighter aircrafts, especially the Spitfire. It was incredibly fast and always gave a particular kick at takeoff. Lilia also had to master flying in the dark of night. In no time, they were comfortable performing different acrobatics and landings. Can you all see all the wonderful illustrations? Marlene wrote letters, but the censors blacked out whole paragraphs to keep information classified. I just want to know what's happening back home, she vented to her new friends. The ATA was an international programme and pilots from all over the world had joined. Always a lively place. It was common to hear more than one language spoken at the same time. I feel like I'm living in a television story, Marlene observed, but without all the troublesome drama about finding a good marriage, laughed her friend Anne. They spent their days off riding the train to London and dancing the night away. Here we go. That looks like they're, well, dancing the night away in London here. Can't do that at the moment. Hazel's baymates also enjoyed spending nights out at the local bar. She had to stuff pillows under her friends' blankets to make it appear as if they had not broken curfew. When their room became too suffocating and humid, they dragged their beds outside and slept under the Texas stars. Her father sent a constant supply of books and aviation magazines. On clear nights, Hazel liked bringing one out to read under the moonlight. Read to us, her friends would say. Sketching helped Lilia through some of the tougher times. One day, they had to cut their hair short like boys, and every single trainee wept at the loss. "Oh, Lilia, your beautiful hair," her friend Tatiana cried. Some of the girls kept a lock of their hair in an envelope between the pages of a book. That night, Lilia and Tatiana stayed up late, handing out small drawings and writing poetry to lighten everyone's spirits. There was always a high chance of someone failing and washing out. Hazel and her baymates reminded one another to double check their faulty flight equipment. When the homesickness overtook Marlene, she would seek out her friend Anne, whose willingness to offer kind words was endless. Lilia was supposed to follow military regulations and address everyone by their last names. But the trainees all laughed at the forced formality and only complied whenever a male officer was around. Through their shared hardships, the girls formed deep bonds with one another and were able to keep on pushing forward. They knew their goal was almost within reach. So I just let you have a look at this last illustration here. Can you all see properly? Okay guys, so that's the end of chapter 3. I'll see you all again next time. Stay safe.